and welcome to Balls on Fire on P&B TV, where we break down the biggest sports stories with clarity, courage, and context. I'm Arako Tom, and alongside me is Abel Sunday. On today's show, we focus on three critical areas of sports development and competition. We begin with basketball at the grassroots level as questions continue to trail the two-day basketball tournament organized by Mark the Ball and Hot Coal held across 22 states. While most states successfully hosted the tournament, Nasarawa State did not officially due to core renovations. However, a growing public concern suggests there may be deeper issues raising fresh debates about access, influence, and the future of grassroots basketball in Nigeria. From basketball, we shift to Europe, where the UEFA Champions League is set and reaching its decisive stage. The race for the top 8 place has heated up, and every result now carries serious qualification consequence. Then at home, the NPFL title and survival battles continue with tightly contested figures and narrow margins separating teams. Results that could define the season. We'll also count down the top 5 sporting memories of the week before crowning our athlete of the week, the goalkeeper who delivered one of the most dramatic moments in the Champions League. This is Balls on Fire on P&B TV, and let's get into it. Abel, let's start with what is happening in the basketball scene. What is your own opinion, especially with the Mark the Ball tournament and with Hot Coal as well, and what they've tried to do? It seems like they've done it successfully in about 22 states, but one state has decided to prove stubborn. What do you think about this?
It's pathetic, honestly, in that community. Because if you look at it, this administration, I think basketball has suffered based on what we've seen on ground. We see the league, how the league is, like what Afama rightly said, that the league is in a state of comatose. You get? So if the league is in that situation and someone is coming up to see how we could try to put one or two together to see how we could revive this thing back, then why pulling out? But of course, it's all still speculation, because why? But what really happened is suspicious, like you said in your introduction. Why is it that is when this commission is coming up that they want to renovate the court, they pulled out the upright just because of one reason or the other? But we don't know. But I think maybe on Monday or Tuesday we could get Bejang, which is one of the organizers in this championship. So he might just come and give us a real this thing on. So I think that's it about that, Tom. There's no need wasting more time on this program. But we're going to move to the next segment of this competition. We're talking about Manchester United and Arsenal, which happened the last Sunday. But I think I have to do well to introduce Oba. This show Oba all the way from Lagos, Ibadan. I beg your pardon, Oba. Good afternoon, and how is Ibadan this afternoon?
Very good afternoon to you. Doing great. Just informations about the pitch or no pitch. That's basically what we're facing in Ibadan at the moment. The pitch is in good order, but the under 20 have been moved away from Ibadan. They have been moved to Abeokuta to have their World Cup qualifier against Senegal 7th of next month in Abeokuta. No longer going to be taking place in Ibadan. But I have a friendly this morning with FC Rubu, and it ended 2-1 in favor of the girls. Quickly, I'd like to quickly say something concerning the basketball you started with. And this is the only thing I will say. Uncle Sonny, you play basketball up onto the college level. You play basketball very well. You know too well that the problem of basketball in this country, it's as a result of us not having a good leader. Once the head is not in order, there is nothing we can do to make basketball go back to its normal position in this country. Moving on, sir. Good afternoon.
Thank you. And also, I think we'll have Coach Sheyi now on the show. Coach Sheyi, good afternoon. And how is it this afternoon?
Good afternoon, Sonny. Good afternoon, Oba. It is good. We are good. Good to join the family once again.
Yeah, Bender Insurance is shining. I can see that. Bender Insurance is shining.
Edo is shining.
Okay. I think, Tom, we have to dive into the conversation because we really don't have time in Balls of Fire. And I know Oba wants to introduce the local league already, but that should be in the later stage. But let's start with right from the Emirates, where Manchester United had to storm Arsenal last Sunday. We watched that game together. I could see why you're jubilee. You're a Manchester United fan of me. You were jubilee. You could not even sleep that night. Two of us.
I slept with enough peace in my heart because we saw Arsenal fans that said that there was nothing we were going to do, and that what Manchester United did against Manchester City in the Manchester derby was just a fluke. But look at the result. We can see that Michael Carrick, he has told his players that, what, no matter what you throw at us, we can adjust, and we have the personnel to adjust. Before, when Amorim was there, we thought that we needed more players, but it's obvious that we do not need as much players as we thought we need. We do not need an overhaul of the team, but instead we just need a coach that can adjust, and we are seeing the Alex Ferguson style.
So because now just between Man City and Arsenal, you guys have a whole player. Oh, but let me come to you. Do you think Michael Carrick is the right fit for Manchester United?
No, straight up, no. The answer is no. Let's call a spade a spade. You remember very vividly, there was a man called Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He came on as interim manager, steady the ship, make things smooth, and you give him the job. At the end of the day, when he eventually had the job, what becomes of Manchester United? Some certain philosophy that were not right was what we were having at Manchester United. Truth be told, there was need for a total change. There was a need for Ruben Amorim to be left out of that job because he was not getting it right. You win today, you lose tomorrow. The results were not forthcoming. But since Carrick took over, this is his second game. He'll be having his third game this weekend. He's had enough time. He's had enough rest. He's had enough talks with the player. So you expect the player to want to give their best to the new coach. Some of the players that have not been played in their rightful position, Carrick allow them to explore that particular one. Coach Sheyi can tell us better. He's a good coach. He understands what it means for a certain coach to leave a club and another one comes to take over. The players will want to impress so as to let the previous coach know too well that he's not doing the right thing.
Okay. What's
The
that?
answer is no.
Okay. Okay, Coach Shea, let me come to you. We could see how Manchester United dispatched Arsenal last Sunday. See the goal from Umbomo, the classic goal from Patrick Dogo, and also the finish, the third goal from Cunha. From your own opinion, how will you classify such performance from Michael Carrick's team?
All right, Sonny, thank you very much. For me, the wonderful performance, excellent football play, and good result. Like what I said about Carrick, for me, it's a 60-40, 60% no, 40% here. Because sometimes you give an interim coach time, and after they develop themselves, become a class coach tomorrow. While some of them will just do a flash, like what I've seen in the 2 games, they play 2 big games, good results. But it's not enough to say Carrick is the savior, he's the Messiah, he's the this. No, it's too very early to start singing praises of Michael Carrick. Carrick has done well, yes, well. But it's not enough to start singing Carrick is the man, Carrick will be answered. I disagree with that. But he has a chance to prove that coach is a good coach in the future to the longer days. Like automation. Only when a social media did work well. Later came back for Manchester United. So it's too early for Manchester United fan. The Man board who believe that you might be surprised. The next United will never win. That's football for you. And also, people should Manchester United when they have big games, because they also prepare for a big team. The players want to do well for a big team and also do well for their manager to show that they can win. So for me, the two groups not enough to say Carrick is the right man for United. Good interest from him, good play, but it's not enough to say he's the man for United job.
Okay. Coach Shea, you are a coach. You know when you analyze matches, you can tell when a coach is doing something right. In your own opinion, what do you think Michael Carrick is doing right, and what are the things that he's doing wrong? And if you say he's not the man for the job, please tell us, who do you think the man for the job is?
players you meet will want to do well. The ones who are not playing will want to prove they can do. And the one who play want to see that they can play. The former coaches even they know. And also, they can personalities between the manager and some players. When players don't want to play for you as a coach, you are in big trouble. When you lost the dressing room, you are in big trouble. But when new coach comes in, every player want to play, want to show that they are doing well. We can do it. And two, I feel Carrick gave the boys the time, the chance to express themselves, playing the players in their right position, the right back in the right back, the left back and the left back, not twisting positions and trying to form a formation where they cannot function properly. Now let me just give you just one example. This young man that played in the middle, Kobe Manu, hasn't been playing under Harmony. He has played 2 90-minute games, 2 big games. The boy has been fantastic and he has been wonderful. This is a boy who has been playing under Robert Amory. He came into 2 big games. He did well. Another place I will look at is Harry Maguire. The Maguire we saw in Amory is not the Maguire we saw in the last 2 games. The Maguire I saw in the City game and the Arsenal game was a Maguire of 8-7 years ago, not the Maguire of recent time. So that's how show you what player want to play for the manager and also want to show that they are good.
Okay. Maguire of Leicester City. Maguire of Leicester City, right?
Can I quickly have something?
Oba, you know the funny thing, I know that you have a vendetta against Carrick, so I'm not going to allow you to say anything about Carrick. I will not.
I went my question.
Okay. So right now we're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we are going to be moving on to the UEFA Champions League and the table shift, and also what happened, because it seems like we saw a Mourinho and his tactical brilliance. So don't go anywhere, cause Balls of Fire on P&B TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Balls of Fire on P&B TV. We are now going to be moving on to the Champions League. And what transpired, we saw a lot of matches, a lot of results from Arsenal, Liverpool. We saw results from the likes of Real Madrid and Benfica. Abel, I have to start with you. What was your best result in the Champions League?
Well, I think I should be Real Madrid Benfica, because that dramatic goal from the goalkeeper from Benfica, I think that stole the whole show. And you know, I think it was even towards ending of the game, Mourinho discovered that he needs that goal to qualify for Champions League, and he just asked the keeper to go there and try his luck. And luckily for him, he was able to get that ball in, and you could see the jubilation, everywhere. But my question is, what's wrong with Real Madrid? What is going on with Real Madrid? That's the question I want to ask.
I think something about Real Madrid is, when you look at guys that are used to a certain style of play, and when you bring them and play a team like Benfica, a team like is smart to forget that people call Mourinho the blessed child for a reason, because he's a tactical genius.
Is that the new name?
Yes.
I know it was the special one.
The choosing one is the blessed child. You know, he has the mantle of grace once it comes to football on him. But Hoba, let me start with you. What's your opinion with the Benfica Real Madrid, and with the way Benfica dispatched Real Madrid in a classical finish from the goalkeeper?
Let's start with the fact that Benfica this season, they start the UEFA Champions League very well. Their first 2 games in the UEFA Champions League was a loss. That was after that they brought in Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho first game in charge as UEFA Champions League. His first game in charge for Benfica this season was in the UEFA Champions League, and it was against his former club Chelsea, in which Chelsea won. So it has been accumulation of there is a need for us to win to turn the fortunes of this club around. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is the fact that Madrid is just having a new coach. Forget that Abeloa has been winning in the league. They are just having a new coach. They are just getting adapted to the system. 2 players and 1 thing worked out for Madrid that wouldn't have made the goals to be more than 4. It would have been more than 4. Number 1, individual brilliance. The likes of Mbappe, who scored from half a chance. They had enough chances yesterday, and Mbappe converted those chances for them. That led to the 2 goals. Then, Thibaut Courtois was top-notch in good performance. He saved them on the night. You could see that those 2 were in top clubs. Again, they have been paired to play the playoffs together. We will see a better Real Madrid. We will see a club Real Madrid. But will it be easy against Benfica? No, because Jose Mourinho has made them realize that you are beatable and beatable convincingly. That's what I saw. Madrid were not better. Benfica were way better, owing to the fact that they needed to qualify even for the playoff.
Okay. Now, Coach Sheyi, I always refer to the fact that you are a coach. What do you think about Jose Mourinho's madness? Because he realized that he needed 1 more goal, and you know what? He said, my goalkeeper, leave the post. We've seen you get headers before, like he said in his post-match interview. And he said, you know what, just go there. And the moment he got there, he had a goal immediately. What do you think about their performance? Coach Sheyi, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I said, what do you think about Jose Mourinho's performance?
Well, thank you very much. We all know that Jose Mourinho has been a top coach, a tactical genius. He has proven that over and over again. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, he has proven that over and over again. And he's a top coach, a good tactical coach. So I shouldn't expect something less from Jose Mourinho. It's madness. When I mean, it's not negative, it's about positive madness. He has the passion and madness of the game is top notch. So I wasn't surprised from what I saw Benfica against Real Madrid because of the man in the line. Sometimes it's not about the players. It is coaches that win games. Sometimes their tactical genius can give you games. So until the player also play to instruction, that is why you win some of the games. But it has to come from the man on the line. I mean the coach. So for someone like Jose Mourinho, he can do anything positive to get results. Sometimes negative.
Okay. Fantastic.
Okay, let me stay with you, Coach Sheyi. I want you to talk about how they call Arsenal. Sorry, Liverpool. Liverpool won 6-0. And I think and it's not needed that because of the his league performances that he has put very poor league performances ever since. I think he needed that to have a breather. But how do you see their Champions League form this season?
Liverpool form.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sonny. Liverpool has in back home, they'll be struggling. It's very poor. But in Europe, they'll be dominating and they'll be doing well. Sometimes domestic football becomes difficult because everybody knows you in and out. When you play a team over and over again, or you watch them play over and over again, it gives you the edge as a coach to do that tactical play and the kind of players they play regularly, how they play. But when you play against teams who don't know you much in Europe, who don't see your player play regularly, you have edge. So Liverpool has been very good in Europe.
A clear example, Coach. A clear example, sir. A clear example, Coach. When Real Madrid won the UEFA Champions League 3 times in a row, they were terrible in the league under Zidane.
Yes.
Coach, we are going to advise you quickly. Please, if you are not talking, can you just mute? Because it's giving us a kind of feedback. But I'm going to stay with you, Oba. I'm going to stay with you. Oba, we saw a PSG that played Newcastle and it ended 1-1. And we could see a Newcastle and they said, you know what? If we cannot win this match, let's make sure that PSG, they fight in the playoffs. And what do you think about the performance of a team like Newcastle?
Okay, you're talking about Paris Saint-Germain.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Oba, we are with you.
Hello.
We can hear you, Coach.
I think PSG.
Hello.
Okay, so I think we're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we are going to continue our analysis on the Champions League and what happened, the intricacies of the Champions League at the table. So don't go anywhere, because Balls of Fire on P&B TV. We'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back to Balls of Fire on P&B TV. Back to you, Oba. We were on the Champions League talks and we spoke about the PSG and Newcastle. What do you think about that match and the way Newcastle held their ground against a strong PSG side?
Okay, let's not forget the fact that Chelsea seems to be the one to expose Paris Saint-Germain since that victory at the FIFA Club World Cup last year. And since after that, it looks like PSG is easy to be dealt with by most of the clubs in Europe. And give or take, you look at how PSG has played in the last time. Newcastle, on the other hand, lost Alexander Isak to Liverpool last season. And coming back into the new season, they have been very, very okay. People say okay. But when you play a team like PSG, who are attacking minded, you need to find a way to contain them. And if you have the opportunity, hit them on the counter, which I feel Newcastle United understand the nitty gritty of qualifying for the next round of the UEFA Champions League, which they did effectively against Paris Saint-Germain.
Okay, fantastic. Well, it seems like we're going to be having a side like Newcastle, and Newcastle is going to be playing Real Madrid. Coach Shay, can you hear me, Coach Shay?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. What do you think about Newcastle's performance against PSG?
Wonderful. I kudos to Newcastle United for a good performance. The very top side like the Paris Saint-Germain, playing them at home. If you are not careful, they could punish you with numbers of goals. Like Oba said, Newcastle PSG is a very attacking side. You put dominate possession and they score by goals. So if you are going to be very, very conscious at the back.
Benfica they play Madrid again.
Wait for his pass.
Newcastle then they play Madrid.
Get the goal sit back.
Newcastle they play Madrid.
No, but
You
wait,
don't need to keep possession. Just try and keep your back close, tight as possible as you can. And which they did against a team like PSG. Though they created chances, but Newcastle performance was wonderful, and I think they deserve it. With their game, they deserve to be very high.
Okay, Okay. Well said. Let me stay with. Let me come to Oba. Oba, are you there with me? Are you there, Oba?
Very much with you, sir. Very much with you.
Okay, Oba, I want us to look at Man City Galatasaray, and I expected so much from Victor Osimhen that night. Is it that Pep Guardiola studied Osimhen very well and he was able to keep him somewhere that that will not be able to threaten the entire Man City side? But I want to get your own opinion on that game. How do you see it, or do you think it's a tactical display between the two managers?
We can't hear you, Oba. Please, can you unmute?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Manchester City are coming off of two different defeats. Defeat number one to Manchester United. Defeat number two to a lowly Bodo Glimt in the UEFA Champions League. A team that has not been playing league football this season. Talking about Bodo Glimt, it might interest you to know that they also defeated Atletico Madrid.
Okay, I think we've lost Oba in a bit there. Is Koshei there?
Yes, Sonny, I'm here.
Okay, Koshei, can you tell us about Galatasaray Man City? What do you see? Your own opinion. What do you think? Do you think it's a tactical play from the two managers, or the players just do what they need to do on the pitch?
It's two-way. It's both the manager and the players too. Like I always believe, it's a message you pass across to your players. They will show on the pitch, though they have to add their own to make it better. So without the proper tactical instruction from the manager on the sideline, the players can't play on their own. We have to be frank about this. You have to play to instruction. You have to be tactically disciplined to perform an instruction or to play to instruction. So I believe it was a tactical instruction, and also the player follows the instruction very well. That's why Osimhen was kept quiet. You have to keep a close tab on him, or else he can punish Man City anytime, any day. But you have to be very close to Osimhen to make sure that you don't give him chance. If you give Osimhen a half chance, you make it a full chance. So Osimhen for me is a complete striker. He's one of the top best strikers in the world at the moment. Take it or leave it. But playing against the City side, who have not been doing so well, both in Europe and home lately, they have to put everything they have to make sure they win the game, because if they didn't win, they would have been out of the top 8. So and they were even lucky to be among the top 8. So
It's expert on Real Madrid, right?
yes.
But Koshei, I want you to look at Duko's assist, the first assist to Alan and the second one. How can you rate his performance on that game?
Doku is one of the most underrated players in the EPL. That's for me. He's underrated. There are so many players there. I think Doku has shown time and time again that he's a top class player. The assist was wonderful display for Jeremy Doku. Good ones, because he has been doing this not just this season, the season before now, but yet he's not been rated among the top 20 players in the EPL. But for me, he's one of the best players who has the EPL. His creativity, his speed, his strength, his skills, and everything. He can be compared in the future. I see him.
Okay, fantastic. It seems like the network today keeps giving us issues. I don't know if they are somewhere in Chad or in Benin Republic. but the network will be back shortly. But Coach Shey, what do you think? The next fixtures that we're going to be seeing, Benfica will be playing Real Madrid again on the 17th of February, and Dortmund will be playing Atlanta as well. But let's stick to the Benfica Real Madrid. Do you think what happened can repeat itself again? Do you think Mourinho can save the Benfica side again?
I don't think what happened before will repeat himself again. I think Madrid, they should be aware that they have a goalkeeper striker in the Benfica team. So whenever he comes, he should be wary. When he comes to go for a corner kick or a free kick, he should be well marked so that he will give him that second chance to damage the team again. I think it's going to be a tough one for me. This is a key match in the playoffs. Madrid versus Benfica. Why is this? Because what happened in the last game? It was Benfica. They needed to win to get to this stage, and Madrid. So it was Madrid that gave them the opportunity to get to this stage. So I think it's a payback time for Real Madrid now to do that. Yes. But it's going to be a very tough one again because Benfica will believe they can do it again, and Madrid will say no, you can't do it again. So it's going to be a very interesting game, and it's one of the games I really want to sit down and watch. Benfica and Real Madrid.
Okay.
Tough one for me.
Okay, fantastic. So it seems like we're going to be seeing Galatasaray, Juventus, Monaco, PSG, Karabakh, Newcastle, Dortmund, Atlanta, Benfica, Real Madrid, and Olympiacos, Leverkusen, Club Brugge, Atletico, and Bodo Glimt, Inter. It's going to be a fantastic one in the month of February. Coach Shay, I think we'll have to remind you that you need to keep muting this call.
Okay,
so let's bring the focus back home to the Nigerian Professional Football League, where margins are razor thin and every point matters. This week's result will be under review today. Bayelsa United 0-0 against Niger Tornadoes. Bedell Insurance Barao 0-0. Ikorodu City 1-0 with Shooting Stars. Kun Khalifa and Kwara United 1-0. Warri Wolves against Remo Stars 1-0. From tactical discipline to missed opportunities, we'll be breaking down what this result means for the title race, continental sports, and relegation battles. Abel, what do you think about this result? I think we're seeing the Remo Stars that have given us an abysmal performance back to back. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this one beauty about the MPFL, you cannot predict it anyway. But I think the only problem we're having is publicity, because of this game, how to watch them is kind of difficult because they are not. It's very difficult to assess most of these games. But you can see our team. But one thing I would want to even ask Kusei now on this show is, why is it that our team will be well domestically, but when we go outside, we cannot do well? Look at Remo Stars now. Remo Stars are defending champion, but they just drop out. They do not even get to the group stage of the Champions League. That's how bad it is. And Remo Stars has been a team that has been progressing for second twice. Okay, go ahead.
This is one of the areas I love so much, the Nigerian Premier Football League. One of the things that makes NPFL distinguished from every other league is the fact that today you could be in the top 4 of the NPFL. Tomorrow morning you could be in relegation. So you can ask Coach Sheyi, he knows better.
Why are you trying back?
Another thing about NPFL is the fact that it's extremely competitive. Previously, we used to think of I must win at home at all costs. That has changed. We've seen clubs go away from their homes and win games very well. Abia Warrior, for instance, including Bendel Insurance of Benin, they have done it this current season under their new manager. Sincere with you, last week as I was here, I told you that Shooting was going to build insurance. It was just a solitary one way to them. But looking at Remo Stars, you will not put too much blame on Remo Stars. Just like I said in earlier on, when there is no leader, when the head of a team is not available, this is bound to happen. Remo Stars are struggling. Their coach, Ijabo, has not been available. He's been engrossed with the national team job as assistant coach. Same goes for Enugu Rangers. Enugu Rangers are not where they ought to be in the league. If Fidelis Ilechukwu was available, they will be doing better than they are doing. Look, Rivers United have 2 games in hand to play, and they are still topping the table. What happened to Abia Warriors? What happened to Nasarawa United? They are not winning their game. It shows you the competition in the MPFL. That's another question about MPFL. I will answer.
Okay, let me come to you, Coach Sheyi. Coach Sheyi, your last game, Bendel Insurance versus Barao FC, ended goalless. I don't know why keep dropping points every game, because I think when that's with the pedigree of that team, we should be looking at top four, not where you guys are now at the table. Can you unmute yourself, Coach Shey, please?
Yeah, thank you. I didn't hear most of the question because the network was breaking.
Okay.
So I think you are talking about where we are currently in the league or where we were before.
Yes, I'm talking about your last game. You ended 0-0 against Barao FC.
Yes, Sonny, in football, sometimes you win some, you lose some, sometimes you draw. That's the beauty of the league. Like Oba said earlier, the league is very competitive. I was in the stadium, I watched the game. We did well in the very first half, but second half, I don't know what happened to Benel Insurance. We were even lucky not to have lost to Barao. They had chances to win the game in the second half. He hit the woodwork twice. We're lucky not to lose the game. I don't know what happened in the second half. That is the competition of the league. The Barao team we saw in the first half wasn't the team we saw in the second half. And the Benel Insurance we saw in the first half wasn't the Benel Insurance in the second half. I don't know what happened. The game just twisted from Benetons to Barao. Probably the tactical switch of my friend and colleague Eugene Agadi that switched the game for Barao. It was a difficult Barao team we saw in the second half. We didn't contain them. So kudos to the technical crew of Barao FC was in the second half. We tried to see how we can contain them in the second half. We just couldn't. Though we had a minor chances in the second half, but the second half was Barao's game. So I'll give it to them. So that is why if you're not ready and you're not strong, you could pick it at home.
Coach, but you think what do you think way forward? Picking your home games is very, very vital if you want to stay at the top of this league, isn't it?
Yes, we want to win. We came to win. We came out to win, to play and win. But we couldn't just score. So that's football. What makes a big team is that the day you don't play well, you still manage to get the result. That's what makes you a champion. Not just playing well. Just you didn't play well, but you still manage to cough, to grind the result from anyhow you get it. But we couldn't just do that. That's what makes some of the big teams different, both home and abroad. When they're not playing well, they still manage to get the result.
That can be seen.
Okay, Oba, let me come to you now. Oba, can you hold on a little? Oba, let me come to you. Shooting Star lost to Ikorodu City, their last game. What happened to Shooting Star that was flying so high in their previous game?
You talk about the fact that Shooting Star lost against Ikorodu City.
Yeah.
Won Bendel Insurance at home.
Yeah.
Well, you should understand one thing about derby games. Derby games are not easy to come back. Ikorodu City is not a team that they are just like Remo Stars. They are just like the Bendel Insurance of the league. They are a new team, and they are made up of young and vibrant players that are ready to actually put their names out there in tabloids. You should understand that aspect. Losing 1-0 in Vegas, well, that doesn't deny the fact that they were way better than Shooting Star, especially in the first half of the game. In the second half, Shooting Star came out smoky, but couldn't get the all-needed equalizer or get the winning goal. It was a loss for them, and this weekend there is no game for them because they are expected to play Rivers United in Ibadan, but Rivers is involved in continental showbiz. That makes it 3 games for Rivers that there will be without in the NPFL. It shows you how we are not managing the league very well. That's a talk for another day. For shooting, we are still in between the first 6 of the league, still hopeful for a continental qualification before the end of the season.
Okay, well said. Tom, I think you have something to say.
The truth is, I think they've said it all. But the only question I have, I think that will go to Coach Shey, is Coach Shey, what do you think? You people are sitting on 8, I think with about 33 points as the Bendel Insurance. Where do you see yourself finishing at the end of the season? Do you think you people can take it all?
I'm not saying this. I'm very confident we'll be in the top 3. I don't know who's going to drop from the top 3, but we are going to finish in the top 3. I believe we'll be in the continent this season with the way we are doing so far. We have not been.
Tom, please bring me up against Coach Shey. Categorically tell you that insurance will not reach a top 3.
Okay, let's watch it.
Okay. Fantastic.
That should be your opinion.
That should be your.
But I don't think it, that should be your opinion. I don't think that would be the fact. It might be your opinion, but it might not be what is on the table. I don't know if I'm making sense here.
What did you say? I didn't get the question.
I said that might be your opinion that brand insurance will not finish top 3. But I don't think that should be the reality, because it's possible that they might finish top 3. There's still a possibility. All right, I think Tom, we have to move to the next segment. We don't have time anymore.
So moving to the next segment, and in our next segment, we're going to be discussing about tomorrow's finals of the Australian Open, which will be Alcaraz, the young lad, versus Novak Djokovic, the person who has decided that, you know what, I might just get a 26th title moving forward in my career. What do you think about this, Oba? Because I think you have a lot to say concerning the semi-finals leading up to the finals. And what are your expectations for the finals?
Okay, quick one. Not much time because we have limited time. The semi-final yesterday was intense. But before I talk about the semi-final, Novak Djokovic is one athlete that has come to become one of the greatest of all time in terms of tennis, I must say. Winning 24 Grand Slam, and chasing the 25th for himself is something phenomenal for the Serbs International. Yesterday, I didn't expect that it was going to get it easy. I was thinking it was going to be easy for Yannick Sinner yesterday, until after the game I saw the fact that Novak actually came top. Then for Alcaraz, if Alcaraz wins tomorrow, he becomes the youngest player in the history of tennis to have ever, again, youngest player in the history of tennis to have ever won all the Grand Slam if he wins tomorrow. Australian Open is the only slam he hasn't won in his entire career. He has won every other one. He hasn't won Australian Open. Yesterday, Alexander Zverev also came in front for him. After winning the first 2 sets, 6-4, 7-6, he came losing the third and the fourth set, 7-6, 7-6, before winning the final set, the 5-setter, 7-5 yesterday. So it boils down to be a tough one later on tomorrow by 9:30 a.m. Nigerian time, when Carlos Alcaraz will face off against world number 4, Novak Djokovic. Now, the women's polls have come to an end today. We have the winner, Elena Rybakina, defeating, what's her name? Elena Zabalenka, world number 5, defeating world number 1 today. Well, it was more or less like repeat of the 2023 final, in which Zabalenka won against Rybakina. But this time around, she has taken a pound of her flesh on revenging, and she has won the Grand Slam, the first Grand Slam of the year. I'm rooting for Novak Djokovic tomorrow.
Do you think Novak Djokovic can do it against Alcaraz, the young 22 years Spaniard Alcaraz? Do you think that would be possible, considering the age of Novak Djokovic?
Well, they've met a couple of times. The very first time they met was in Wimbledon final, in which Novak lost to the young boy. And after that, Novak met him in the US Open final. Novak defeated him. A couple of times that both of them have met, it has been the young lads defeating Novak more. But this time around, I feel with the win of Novak yesterday, it should propel him into a greater game against Novak. It's not going to be an easy one. He's 22, Novak is 37 or 38 thereabout. So it's not going to be an easy one for Novak Djokovic. But I feel Novak should be able, one way or the other, to beat the young one, at least to get this last one and retire.
Okay, Coach Shea, who do you think is going to take the day tomorrow? Do you think Novak Djokovic or Alcaraz?
Sonny, thank you very much. I think it's time for Djokovic to go and sit down. Oba is a fan of Novak because the way he's talking, The young Spaniard should win, please, to complete his Grand Slam. Novak has won everything winnable in tennis. He has won all the Grand Slams over and over again. I think it's time for him to say goodbye and let the young man just speak the slam and let him go and rest like that. Please, it's time for Novak go home and rest at home. Become the coach for this young man. That's my take. I think Anna's winning tomorrow.
Oh, okay, that's perfect. Okay, Tom. Thank you.
Okay, so now we are going to be moving to our next segment, which will be our top 5, where we give you the hottest plays and highlights of the week.
Absolute genius season. Absolute genius.
Love 50. A wry smile on Yannick's face as he walks back to where we're sitting around the post. If you don't mind.
Hamming it home, Cooper flag. Bam!
Wow. That's nasty.
To turn to Dorgan. Side left, gets it back to Bruno Fernandes, lifts it back to Patrick Dorgan, takes it with him. Dorgan's left footed up. Oh, it's just Patrick Dorgan. Arsenal 1, United 2. A screamer from Patrick Dorgan. Unbelievable from United. 52 minutos y algo más. Atención, va al centro, va al arquero, gol.
Okay, you saw the number 1. You saw that it was the Benfica goalkeeper Abel. What do you think about our number 1? Do you think it's a befitting number 1?
Yes, he wants it. I think that it deserves to be top 1 for the next 2 weeks, because I don't think that's amazing. I never even expected that would even happen in that game. That was amazing.
Fantastic. Kudos to Anatoly Trubin and Mourinho. And now we'll be moving to our last segment before we leave you people and tell you bye-bye for the week. And our next segment is our Athlete of the Week. And our Athlete of the Week is a man who rewrote expectations. Anatoly Trubin, born in Ukraine, Trubin rose through the ranks with discipline, courage, and exceptional shot-stopping abilities. Known primarily for his presence between the posts, he has steadily built a reputation as one of Europe's most reliable goalkeepers. This week, however, he went beyond his role. In a dramatic Champions League clash against Real Madrid, Trubin scored a crucial late header, a moment that rescued Benfica from elimination and sent shockwaves across Europe's. Goalkeepers rarely get this moment, but when they do, they become very, very unforgettable. For his composure, bravery, and match-saving contributions on the biggest stage, Anatoly Trubin is our Athlete of the Week on Balls of Fire. Well, and that brings us to the end of today's edition on Balls of Fire on PNB TV. Even though we do not want to leave you people like this, for more insights, stories, and hot takes, follow us on all our social media platforms on YouTube and Facebook at Politics&BusinessTV.English, on Instagram at PNBTV_English, on X, formerly Twitter, on PNBTV_ENG. From grassroots basketball challenges to Champions League drama and a fierce battle of the MPFL, we've covered the stories shaping the game at every level. A big thank you to our guests, Oba and Coach Shei, for their insights and expertise. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And thank you at home for watching. I'm Arako Tom, and alongside me is Abel Sunday, reminding you that sports is more than results. It's structure, integrity, and opportunity. Until next time, keep the fire burning. This is Balls of Fire on PNB TV.